This forerunner was referred to us by a local shop for a variable valve timing fault code. Originally, when they saw the vehicle, it had a total of 4 timing fault codes. They found the cause of those faults, and when the repair was completed, a new timing fault code was set. In their diagnosis, they found a collapsed oil filter caused by the center reinforcement being omitted during an oil change. The collapsed filter caused an oil delivery issue to the valve timing components. The valve timing on this engine is hydraulically controlled by engine oil, and that drop in oil volume and pressure from the collapsed filter was the root cause of the original fault codes. Once the filter was replaced and a new center support was installed, the fault codes were cleared and did not return during a test drive until the customer took the vehicle, and the mill was back on the next day. A new fault code was stored, this time for a single exhaust camshaft. When we saw the vehicle, we found the solenoid for bank 1 exhaust camshaft was not working, but it failed in a very unexpected way. In this video, I'm going to show you how we used our iSCAN NX and the built-in OE-level data stream and component activations to quickly pinpoint the problem component and then an unexpected final fix. In this dual VVTi system, the ECM has the ability to advance and retard the camshafts. There is an active adaptation for each camshaft to help learn where 0 degrees is. When reviewing data, you will see a data PID for hold learned value. This is the learned position of that specific camshaft for 0 or hold at center. Of course, the first thing to do is confirm oil level and condition. Then check the fault codes and check for TSBs. No TSBs were found. In this case, we had a P0014 exhaust bank 1 camshaft over advanced or system performance. We cleared the fault code, something I might not normally do, to re-enable camshaft control from default on that cam. A quick test drive monitoring live VVT data showed bank 1 exhaust camshaft was not moving. Let's review that data. Bank 1 exhaust target angle matches bank 2. The ECM is trying to control camshaft angle. Bank 1 target and bank 1 change angle do not match. Even with a 25-degree target, the change angle is pretty much 0 degrees. Compared to bank 2, where target and change angle are mirror images, what we would expect to see with functioning camshaft control. As we continue to drive and record this data, bank 1 duty cycle climbs towards 100%, still with no change. The ECM is maxing out hydraulic control with no reaction from bank 1 exhaust camshaft angle. Once a pending fault code is set, banks 1 and 2 now stop camshaft control. We know this isn't a camshaft sensor fault because it would trigger a fault if the ECM didn't see the correct amount of reluctor pulses per engine revolution or even a circuit code during the comprehensive component monitor check. Going a step further, we can use our iSCAN NX to manually trigger camshaft angle change while monitoring data stream to confirm movement. Under Activation Test, select Control the VVT Exhaust Linear, Bank 1. Tap up until you reach 15%. Engine RPM should begin to lose smoothness, and data stream should reflect a duty cycle change as well as degree increase in camshaft change angle for bank 1. In our case, duty cycle climbs, but there is no change angle. This confirms hydraulic change or a duty cycle increase in the system does not increase change angle. Testing bank 2, we adjust to the same 15%, and this time we experience a rough idle and also see change angle increase along with duty cycle. This confirms camshaft control is active on bank 2. Right away, we suspect the bank 1 exhaust solenoid might be the issue here. After I removed the intake air ducts for access to the solenoids, I noticed the exhaust solenoid on bank 1 looked like it was recently removed. I saw tool marks on the body of the solenoid. I reached out to the shop the vehicle came from, and they said it was removed to check for sludge. Now, they were not aware of the oil line filters or screens in the oil inlet banjo bolts for the VVT system on each bank. To be sure there was no sludge in the screen, I removed and inspected them on each side, and the screens were clean. At this point, I removed the solenoid to inspect it, and while inspecting the solenoid bore for sludge, I noticed something looked off with the alignment of the oil ports in the valve cover and the oil ports in the solenoid. They didn't look like they lined up. Inspecting the solenoid, I found tool marks from rotating it with pliers. And when the tech did this, they spun the crimped mounting bracket on the solenoid, misaligning the oil ports from the solenoid to the engine. To confirm my suspicion, I rotated the solenoid mounting bracket and restaked it on a dimple on the opposite side of the valve, where it looked like it was before being initially removed. Next, the solenoid was reinstalled and we ran our solenoid test in bay, and the camshaft on bank 1 was now working. A test drive confirmed the fix. Target and change angle now mirrored each other on both banks. In the end, no parts were needed to repair this Forerunner. All we needed was a thorough understanding of how this VVT system works and a capable scan tool to have OE-level diagnostics for testing. Thanks for watching, and check out our other videos for more technical tips and tricks.